we're just going to go through basically just a very brief run on bare knuckle, how it's changed to the gloved arena, stances, etc. mainly. Again, Queensberry rules. Again, it went through Broughton rules, London Prize Ring rules, and Queensberry rules. That's what we have now, Queensberry rules. But again, I digress there. That's a very brief history. But again, the stances have changed very much so. Even the way you strike, etc. So generally, let's start with stances. So again, you've probably seen this. Slightly to the back foot, hands here. Again, hand here. Again, this is really for the sort of gate block here, overhand rights, etc. And to grab the head really, to here, for strikes, etc. So you'd have this hand out long here. You'd be more selective with your shots, because if someone stuck their head down, you've got a broken hand straight away. So it'd be a slower pace, and you'd be more selective when you was hitting with the fists. You would tend to do the sideways on, again, that way, be punching that way. So you'd see a lot of the stances would come from here, again here. You'd never really be turning the fists, especially as going to the head. You might to the body, you might get away with it, but pretty much all the time it'd be this way or this way. You can try on a wall. I mean, again, down here you'd be alright on a wall, but the further you go up the wall, your wrist tends to bend and you'd break your hands. Again, you could break your hand anyway if you hit right. If someone tucked the head down and you took one on top of the head. So again, you'd be sort of jabbing here, sideways on, but mainly they would hit with inner palms, etc. Thumb to the side, and again be sort of coming up here, 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 or even sort of cuffing, slapping. Again, I am palming pretty much here, coming there and then dragging back, grabbing, because there was a lot of grappling involved. Obviously they never sort of broke it up, so again there'd be grappling, standing, grappling, cross buttock throws. I think it was Broughton's rules that took away below the waist throws, etc. So again, the stances will be very much different. Again, this would be like classical stances here, and you'd have sort of people like Mendoza here, this sort of stance. You might, I mean, again, you've got a lot of different sort of suited to bare knuckle stances, sort of here, the hand here, the parry, etc. So just literally come through like that. Again, you might have your hand slightly lower than your shoulders, because you wouldn't be able to cover really, because the hands would come through and thread through quite easy, because the gloves are not there to protect as much. So yeah, you would also maybe in the style of defanging a snake, punch to the limb that coming at you, so basically the arm coming at you, you'd be punching towards it, etc. And a lot of old moves like Mendoza, he started to use sort of parrying and blocking. Again, it was quite a phenomenon when he was doing that. He would do sort of block here, lead hand, and come back with sort of back fist there, across the nose, etc. You had guys like Jack Slack, who invented, didn't invent, been around for ages already, with a rabbit punch, etc. to the back of the head, the occipital punch, the old Gumbo Smith occipital punch. He used to do that with gloves, the smaller gloves in Dempsey's days, etc. Hit the occipital part here, a lot to do with your vision. But they sussed that, you know, the anatomy of the body, you could place these shots, etc. when they started using the head. Again, people like Broughton, Mendoza brought that skill about, counter punching, stuff like that. I mean, the classic, you would come in with a rabbit punch, something like that, again, and lean on your opponent, get a rest, take a break, until you're ready to go, and just end up sort of near enough leaning on them, getting a break. Jack Slack, he actually come up with some sort of cross arm defence. Again, this is all written out, and he won a fight. I can't think what famous one it was, but he won with a back fist again. So this is the way the striking would go about, really. I mean, you'd come in here and then be clawing back with the hands, etc. Again, palms would be used a lot. But again, if you was going to sort of turn that fist, you would do it just coming down to the body. I mean, Broughton was a classic. He had a shot called the projectile that he used towards the body. Again, you'd come sort of the usual punch, you'd turn the fist, get a rotation, you'd come down to the body, and you put a lot of people away with that. So you could get away with that twist to the body there if you're coming down, but again, higher up, the fist will bend. Try it on the wall, you'll see it yourself. Your fist will bend the higher you go up against a flat wall. So that's a very sort of brief description of the sort of striking, or the difference in striking from the gloved to the bare knuckle days. Again, obviously gloves weren't there, so you'd have sort of raking, etc., stuff like that. You even had things like, I think Broughton brought a book out and it had all about hitting to the vagus nerve, stuff like this. They were starting to use their heads and stuff like that, and the effects it would have on the body. Again, you'd block on the elbows, stuff like that, top of the head. So again, the gloves have really changed a lot of things.